Mongoose Jake here with a video featuring the Tiger P. I've actually been working on 3-marking it, and at the time of this recording, I have finished my 3-mark journey, and this is one of the best battles on the way to the 3rd mark. I actually find myself top tier, which suits the Tiger P extremely well. Its armor profile holds up really well while top tier because its armor basically has multiple weak spots that if you have good enough knowledge to know where to shoot, it doesn't hold up well. And its armor's also quite flat. So if it faces guns with enough penetration to just punch through the raw thickness, it doesn't have angling to really help it. You know, like say for instance, the Russian heavies don't necessarily have thicker armor, but it's well angled from all directions, and that allows it to be kind of, we'll say, a little easier to play. But the Tiger P, while top tier, actually should be respected. And instead of going into the basic tunnel over on the one line, I actually decided I'm going to go up here on top where there's plenty of buildings for cover, and there's plenty of spots for you to use to angle against, side scrape, or whatever you need to do depending on the changing circumstances. But for now, I need to help out my teammates down below. But focusing on the Tiger P, the tank itself is actually much more solid than what people give it credit for. The Panther, for instance, is a very high penetration gun at tier 7, and I've so far now bounced 1 out of 3. He has the penetration and the accuracy to pick at my weak spots. So, and this guy obviously knows where to shoot. And the 2 that I bounced are probably from his shots not going exactly where he placed them. And I didn't spin the camera around, but he's probably getting a shot onto my lower plate based on the angle he has. But I need to get rid of him. Now the Tiger 131 doesn't have a whole lot of chance against me. He got a shot into my side armor there. But now, once he's tracked, this is something you can do. Keep him perma-tracked. The gun on the Tiger or Tiger P, I mean, in particular the Tiger 1, can pull this trick off non-stop. Keep somebody perma-tracked, back off, and he doesn't even have a shot on me. And unfortunately for him, he's going to get killed from full HP down to nothing while only scoring 1 hit on me. So now I've already had a pretty solid game just by beating up the Panther, and unfortunately for the Tiger 131, he just got decimated. Now, I'm watching my surroundings, and something that's very key to do: watch the map. It seems like 90% of World of Tanks players don't do that. It's very clear that with my absence on the one line, which I absolutely detest that area, it's just a close range brawl with no real skill involved. You either just blast each other in the face, and most of the time you'll find everybody firing premium in there because you're just point blank blasting. I prefer to have at least a little bit of tactics, a little bit of thought, and a tunnel takes away all of that. It just becomes basically point and click. Now I'm waiting for them. They've won. They're thinking, okay, now we got a clear shot to push through to the base. Not quite. My 88 has a little to say about that. And there's a bounce off of my front by the T-29, and I'll be able to get a couple shots in before he has a chance to come back at me. And now here's a pair of KV2s, which I have zero fear of. He did 266. That's roughly a little more damage than my gun's going to do, and he can only do that once every 20 seconds. I can do it every 7 seconds. So I'm going to be able to get 3 shots into him, no problem. He will be dead here in just a second. And I had no reason to fear a KV2 anymore, unless they're behind me. And here comes another one. But unless they're behind, the Tiger P is pretty KV2 resistant. More so than the Tiger 1. And of course, I don't know why the T-29 reversed out of cover. He was never going to get a chance at a shot on me, because I was going to get his whole entire side before his gun was even able to look at me. That was just simply an unfortunate RNG shot. That should have been a hit there. And now with the AMX, my best thing, if you're in a heavy tank and you see one of the French auto-loading lights, get next to hard cover. And that's what I am trying to do here. First using the wreck of the OI, and now I'm going to use the cliff's side here. I want to get right up against it. And then I spot he's charging across the bridge, which what he's doing, he's going to look to kill the D-Max and then get artillery. Our T-71DA is not quite in position to get him. So I'm thinking, okay, this game outside of the AMX is in order. This is going to be a win as long as we can corral that AMX. Because the only way I believe that they could win now is if the AMX somehow killed everyone at cap, teammates don't pay attention, and he snuck in a cap. So even though I'm the slowest vehicle around, I need to start positioning myself to cut off obvious approach lanes for the AMX. Like if he ducks down and comes back at me, he's not likely to be able to clip me. He will bounce some shots, and he only has roughly, I believe it was 700 and some clip potential, which I have less hit points than that, but he had to penetrate every single shot. And I mean, he's going to be firing full premium, unfortunately, but still, the Tiger P's frontal armor can hold up to that. Because for those who don't know, it's the two shoulders that you can see on the upper part of the hull, as well as the lower plate. Those are your three weak spots, plus that, of course, very obvious cupola. So it has 4 frontal weak spots that you can hit, but the rest of it is 200 millimeters thick on the central front part of the hull. And now here's the AMX. I put myself in position with HE. Unfortunately, I hit the track. There's a couple of bounces, and I back into cover to keep him from getting the side, and he's clipped out, and now he's on the run, and he gets nailed by the S-51 of all things. Didn't quite get the Top Gun there. Little bit of a bummer, but I did get an ace and a whole bunch of little awards, along with a high caliber and steel wall. It was a very good game. I didn't have to fire a single shot of premium, and I did a pretty substantial amount of damage for a tier 7 heavy, and that definitely helped boost up my marks to where the actual very next game, which I will put into video form, earned me my 3rd mark. But this was the second to last game. So stay tuned for the next one. I'll leave you with the results here.